Yo, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. In this one, we're talking about the V10.40 update in Fortnite Battle Royale. So there are quite a few changes to talk about in this video, but the first one I want to quickly point out is the Combine, which you can see in the bottom right-hand corner down here, which is a game mode where I can sort of test things. So the patch notes say, put your skill and muscle memory to the test. In this new playlist, your goal is to reach the end as fast as possible while eliminating all targets along the way. Compete against friends or other players for the fastest time on the leaderboard. So I'm just going to jump into this for once straight away, because if I quickly go into settings and go along to controller sensitivity, it's literally, you know, like, just like Call of Duty's, you know, like Call of Duty layout, basically. So, you know, I'm just, you know, there's advanced options like look, speed, acceleration, etc, etc, etc. But you know what, I'm just going to leave it alone. And I'm just going to, you know, again, I'm just going to leave everything as it is. I'm just going to leave it on 4, and I'm just going to try Combine and see what happens. You know, if necessary, then I can obviously change the sensitivity, either up or down. And I'll just play about. I'll just play about with it. Alright, so I'm aware that I'm aware that in the top left-hand corner it says Team Rumble, alright? I'm fully aware of this. But for some strange reason, I couldn't get a match on Combine. You know, I couldn't get a match in, you know, the Combine playlist, and you know, I tried 3 times, and I was waiting like 7-8 minute queues, and the time was just adding up and adding up. So I've just decided to go into Team Rumble, and we'll just make this a standard, you know, update analysis video. But there is a new POI. You know, I'll talk about this while obviously the game's loading and everything. But the new POI is here. Starry Suburbs. Basically, you know, patch notes say that, have you ever wished upon a star for great loot? Come to this new rift zone and make your wishes come true. Shooting stars with powerful loot are landing here. So obviously, you know, I'm going to try and get on that side of the map eventually. You know, I'll play a few matches and see if I can get onto that side of the map, and I'll actually land there at some point. But to be perfectly honest, I guess I'll just go Lonely Lodge and just get some loot. But I'm just testing sensitivity right now. Like that's all I'm primarily doing. I also appear to have a PC logo against my name in the top left. What? Right. Okay. That's new. All right. So my sensitivity, I don't know. Like it seems a bit, you know, it seems a bit strong. You know, I may end up turning it down to 3, depends on, you know, how I feel in combat. I'll actually just I'll test it in combat first, obviously. But to be perfectly honest, it does seem a bit wild, and I'm not sure what to actually think of this. To be fair, you know, like if I'm being brutally honest, you know, I think they should have left the sensitivity settings the way they were, because you were able to fine tune it. But the fact that you can no longer fine-tune your sensitivity, and you're stuck on, like, preset, you know, preset destinations, whatever you want to call it, like, you know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say. You know, I can't really think of the word right now for it, whatever it's called, but at the same time, the fact that you're stuck to that is just, you know, it's a bit daunting, it's a bit, you know, it's a bit depressing, if you like. The fact that you can't fine-tune your own settings to you know, to what you prefer. You know, you're stuck to just whatever it's preset to, and that's a bit disappointing, you know. That's a bit disappointing, you know. Just, I'm not happy with that change. Not happy with that change. I mean, if we quickly just try and build here, like, I mean, I can still build, tree in my way. Just get rid of that. But yeah, I mean, I can still build. So, you know, fair enough. I mean, putting a box around me and everything, I don't know. I mean, building sense seems fine. I just nearly died from fall damage. I just nearly died from fall damage, but yeah, it's like, okay. I don't know. Alright, so we've got some new LTMs coming into the game as well, called Zone Wars. So it's a solo LTM respawning is off. A simulation of endgame scenarios in Battle Royale with a condensing moving zone. Eliminate the competition as you avoid the storm closing in. Randomized spawns and inventory items make each round unique. Queue time. You can queue up to 15 with up to 15 friends, I should say. So you've got 4 different zone wars there as well. 4 different locations. 4 different, you know, environments, if that's the word you want to use. Some of these buildings are missing. I don't know if this is like play destroyed or what, but okay. But yeah, you've got thank you. Come again. But yeah, you've got 4 different environments. You've got Coliseum, you've got Desert, you've got Downhill River, and Vortex. Feel free to pause the video as I'll have the patch notes, those little 4 patch notes on the screen right now. Feel free to pause the video as they'll only be up for a few seconds as they'll go off screen. So that's, you know, more LTMs. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? I don't really know. You know, I don't really play LTMs much, you know. Yeah, I mean, I say that, but I play a hell of a lot of Team Rumble. Like, Team Rumble's different. Team Rumble is a very, you know, it's a fun game mode as such. And, you know, I enjoy Team Rumble. I really like Team Rumble. It's like, it's basically Team Death, you know, like TDM. So weapons, moving on to weapons and items, guys. We have the Explosive Batarang. And basically the only change to the Explosive Batarang is the fact that there's been an audio cue added for the proximity explosion, whatever you want to add to it. So yeah, proximity beeping is basically when you get close, it's gonna start beeping a lot louder and a lot more distinct, so you can better prepare yourself just in case you know you're gonna run into it. The shield bubble will also bounce off players when thrown at players instead of just landing. Lucky G. The bouncers have also been unvaulted, so it's obviously rare trap, so it's blue. It drops in stacks of 3 found from supply drops, vending machines, llamas, and floor loot. Can be placed on floors, walls, ramps, and stairs, and provides a jump boost in a direction perpendicular to its placement. So if you've placed it on a ramp that way, if you like, you'll bounce that way. You know, you know how bouncers work. If you're an OG, you know how bouncers work. They were in the game at season 0, and obviously all the way through seasons 1 to 7-ish before they were vaulted. But the fact that the fact that they've been brought back is a major boost. Is a major boost. The Batman grapple gun and explosive batarang have also been added to arena and tournament playlists. So form your own opinion on that one. You know, I haven't really got an opinion on that. So we've got quite a few bug fixes as well. They are up on the screen right now. You know, I will quickly, you know, just talk about them in just a moment. I just want to see what other mischief I can get up to, but I think I'm good sitting here. Alright, so like I say, we've got quite a few bug fixes to talk about, as I said, on the screen. So they've resolved an issue where health bars and vehicles would not display. So, you know, such as drift boards, you know, their health bar wouldn't appear above your own health bars. So, you know, I'm glad that's been resolved. When a junk rift object hits a player wearing a bush, it will no longer damage the player instead of the bush. You know, you were wearing a bush as, like, obviously armor, and, you know, you normally wouldn't take damage when wearing a bush. It was like a free... Excuse me, it was like a free hit. So now, obviously, a junk rift won't kill you. It'll just, you know, take away your bush. Using a grapple gun to enter a rift zone will no longer prevent players from moving around while skydiving. They've also resolved an issue in which players could deploy a glider while in prop form. That was pretty hilarious, actually, I'm not going to lie. Being in prop form no longer prevents players from being affected by explosive batarangs homing. Explosive batarangs will no longer float in the air after the object they are on is destroyed, resolving an issue in which the zapper trap would not deploy at the location of the placement preview. Shield bubbles attached to a supply drop will no longer disappear after the supply drop is destroyed. Shield bubbles can no longer prevent fall damage, and shield bubbles can no longer become stuck in the air. They've also resolved an issue in which shield bubbles will not attach to a vehicle when thrown by a player riding the vehicle. So they've created, like, you know, they've fixed quite quite a few there, especially with the shield bubbles. But it looks like shield bubbles are going to actually act the way they should now. Okay, so gameplay. Double XP weekend. Make this weekend double the fun. From Friday the 27th of September at 9 AM ET, which is about 2 o'clock in the afternoon for us in the UK, till Monday the 30th of September at, again, same time. You'll earn double experience for the matches you play. So, fair enough. Matchmaking. We've introduced improved matchmaking logic to core modes. Players are now more likely to match with those of similar skill. As players get better, so should their opponents. So we will roll this out to core game modes in all regions as we test and monitor how it performs. Please see our blog post for more details. Matchmaking. So yeah, skill-based matchmaking is now going to be a thing in Fortnite Battle Royale. It's something I've talked about since like Season 5 or 6, you know, when the skill gap between casual players and sweats, you know, start getting pretty big. And it started to become more predominant over the course of Season 8 and 9. Especially, you know, when, you know, new players were starting to come into the game and they were basically getting shat on by, obviously, the more experienced players, the players that can build, etc. So, you know, I'm a big fan of skill-based matchmaking, and, you know, I'm really glad that this is now in the game. Yeah, okay, that works. But to be perfectly honest, like I said, I'm still tweaking sensitivity here, guys. I'm still playing about with my sensitivity. But in the long run, skill-based matchmaking, you know, there will be people using Smurf accounts and everything as such. But if I'm being brutally honest, and you know, I always am, you know, skill-based matchmaking, if implemented in the right way and if it uses the right stats, can be beneficial to a Battle Royale game, because, you know, you're not going to have, you know, you're going to have new players with new players, or new accounts with new accounts, whatever. But these sweats, as we call them in the business, obviously care about their stats and their win-loss ratio, etc., whatever. You know, and that's going to, yes, people will create Smurf accounts, you know, they'll have main accounts, etc., but they're still going to progress pretty fast in skill-based matchmaking, especially if, you know, if they create a Smurf account, which is like a brand new account, and they join, you know, they start playing with us casuals, you know, they're gonna progress pretty fast, you know, they will progress pretty fast up the skill chain, and that in itself will make their account no longer a Smurf account. It'll just, you know, they'll just go back to a normal regular account. So it is going to be beneficial in the long run. It will be very beneficial in the long run. It just takes time to get used to. And like I say, I've wanted skill-based matchmaking since at least season 6. That's as far back as I can remember. I think that's the first time I mentioned it. And to be perfectly honest, it's about time. It is about time. Because, you know, the amount of solo games and the amount of, like, duo games or squad games that I've gone into and, you know, I've been absolutely shat on is absolutely incredible. Like, literally, I won't get better at Fortnite if I can't get better. Like, you know, if I keep getting shot on, I'm not going to get any better. I need to play against people that's my own skill level, get used to that, obviously, progress. Like, obviously, the more games I win against my own skill level, the more I'll be put against, you know, the more my skill will go up. That's the way skill-based matchmaking should work and will always work. And, you know, this change may be controversial. It may be controversial to, you know, a lot of experienced Fortnite players, but I'm a big supporter. I'm a big fan of skill-based matchmaking. I always will be. You know, it has to be done right. I didn't want shield bubbles, man. I just want to open the damn box. But yeah, it has to be implemented in the right way. It has to use the right stats, such as maybe survival time, you know, kills per game, etc., etc., etc. Materials used, whatever. You know, it has to use the right stats. But again, that's just my 2 cents. This is, again, this video is my own personal opinion. You guys don't get ratty with me. Don't get ratty with me. But if you would like to discuss it in the comment section down below, feel free. You know, I'm always up for a chat. If you want to discuss it on Twitter as well, again, at Talon Plays YT, come over, drop me a tweet. I'm more than happy to discuss it, but like I say, I'm a big fan, I'm a big supporter of skill-based matchmaking, I always will be. Obviously, we've talked about the new sensitivity and aim assist settings on controller. Again, you know, I'm just, you know, I'm getting used to the fact that, you know, everything seems a bit different, everything seems different. I mean, especially when I'm, like, aiming with controller and everything, like, ADS, if I'm ADSing right now, right, I used to have this so finely tuned. I had this slowed right down, and I don't know, maybe it's just getting used to it. I don't know, but I'll just leave it as it is for now. I mean, if I switch to the SMG, you know, you've got to you've just got to gently touch the sticks. I mean, obviously, I am playing with controller here. You know, controller on PC, so. You know, it's... Oh, I got my wire tangled. It's not the first time I've done that. But at the same time, you know, it will take some getting used to, especially the new system. The fact that everyone's just going to be on a level playing field and they'll have predetermined settings and everything as such is, you know, it's going to take a lot of getting used to, especially for players in that play controller on PC. As for console, you know, console players won't really know the difference, to be perfectly honest. You know, they will notice, like, a sharper difference, or... I died, okay. But yeah, they will notice, like, a really sharp difference in turning, look sensitivity, etc. But in terms of overall gameplay, they really probably won't make it, you know, it probably won't make a difference to them. Again, I've talked about the Combine, you know, patch notes just on my right hand side here. So this new playlist is a great way to get familiar with controller setting improvements mentioned above. Through the Combine, though the Combine is useful for this purpose, it can also be played using legacy controls, mouse and keyboard, or touch. The goal in this playlist is to reach the end as fast as possible while eliminating all the targets along the way. There are leaderboards that allow you to compete for the fastest time with friends or other players. Each leaderboard provides options to sort times by your preferred input device. So, obviously, it'll... You know, I imagine it'll sort of sort the, probably dead here, but you know what? That's fine. But, yeah, it'll probably sort, you know, the time out by, you know, what input device you're using. You're dead. Sit the fuck down. But yeah, about time I killed that guy, you know? Fired all them shots, didn't quite hit all of them. Still getting used to sensitivity there, fellas. Still getting used to sensitivity. But yeah, it'll sort out, you know, it'll detect what, you know, input device you're using, controller, keyboard, mouse, touch, whatever. And it'll, you know, it'll record a time for each one, depending on which one you've actually used. If you, for example, if you've used all three, you know, you'll probably have 3 different times for all 3 input devices. I don't know how far he went. I don't know how far he fell down. So that I imagine that's how that, you know, that playlist will work. Obviously, LTM, it's not going to be it's not going to be around for a great deal of time. It'll probably be around until the end of the season, which is obviously in about 10 or 11 days. But apart from that, you know, I can't see it being around any further. Where is this guy going? Yo, fella. There's a guy landing on your head. You're dead. Hey, I can rhyme. So yeah, Starry Suburbs, new never seen before weapon. In before it's actually like the Zapatron or something from like Season 0, but you know what? What else? Moisty Palms. Players can now use the crouch input to exit prop form. Basically, it was bugged. You would have to fire your weapon in order to exit being a prop. Hit markers no longer display on teammates, so if you're shooting at an enemy and a teammate runs in front of you, you will no longer get a hit marker, thinking that you've dealt no damage to the enemy, as bullets do not phase through friendlies. And they've removed the reset camera control bind, which I never actually used in the first place, but okay. Bug fixes. Fixed an issue where players could use infinite sprays while in a rift zone. And the building piece choice no longer resets to the wall option when players use a controller have the reset building option turned off. So that is the gameplay changes to Fortnite Battle Royale. That's the major changes that I've talked about in this game, in this video. Sorry. To be perfectly honest, like I say, skill-based matchmaking, big fan, big fan. Still getting used to sensitivity. Do I like it? Do I not like it? I don't know. I'll play a little. I need to play some more games before I actually decide whether or not I like this change. But to be perfectly honest, I need to land. Basically, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get a match. I'm going to try and get a match, and I'm going to try and land in the new zone. Try and get that new, never seen before weapon. See what it is. Try and get some try and get some gameplay of it. All right, so I've gone into play mode. I've gone into playground, and I've just decided, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna basically see if these shooting stars are in playground. So this is Starry Suburbs, which is the the busted up village that was here back in like season 1, season 0, and season 1. So, hey, it's been rebuilt. All right. Oh hey, shooting star. Okay, open. It gives me a scar. So that's what they are. Okay, so they just sort of fly down and be like, yo, sup? Alright, wait, is that an intro manga? Oh my god, it is. Didn't even think they were still in playground. I'm not even gonna lie, lads. I'm not even gonna lie. Is that a oh my god, it is. Give me that shit. I wonder, do they just... Like, do these shooting stars just keep spawning? Or, is there like a limited... Like, is there a limited number? Because if there's a limited number, then, it's... Wait, what? Wait, what? Bruh. What? Never seen before weapon. This has to be it. Gold Tactical SMG. It has to be. Yo! Gold Tactical lads. Gold Tactical SMG. It has to be it, because I'm just getting regular weapons. And obviously a Gold Tactical SMG, you can't get in normal game modes. Can you just open the star? Yeah, because that's a purple one. Another one's just landed. Okay. But still, yo, Gold Tactical SMG is a thing. Boing. Automatic sniper. Yo, okay. So, 21 damage, fire rate of 13. Let me pick up the purple. Let me do a comparison. So you've got 20 damage and basically the same, except the reload time's lower by 0.1 seconds and you get 1 extra damage. It does 30 more DPS. But at the same time... is that it? I was expecting, like, something more. But I suppose you're not going to argue for 1 extra damage. Like, 2 if you're doing a headshot. But at the same time... I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to think of that, to be fair. I honestly don't know what to think of that, because, I'm not a fan of... I'm not really a fan of the TAC SMG these days. I used to be, like, back in the day. But now, not really. Not really a fan. But, you know what? Fair enough. So it looks like this Gold Tactical SMG is... Yeah, because I'm just getting regular weapons. It looks like this is the new never seen before weapon. So, ta-da! Gold Tactical SMG. And this is like I say, this is just the busted village from back in like season 0, season 1, 2, 3. So it's nice that they've brought this back. This is like a really nice touch to like OG players. Like it is really really nice that they've brought this back. But at the same time, like I don't know. I don't know, man. Yeah, like the stars just keep spawning. I'm pretty sure they just keep spawning and spawning and spawning until, you just leave the area, I guess. Boing. Yep, there's another one. There you go. Gold Tactical SMG. That has to be. This has to be it. This has to be the weapon. So I guess I'll just leave the video here. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. If you have enjoyed this video, drop a thumbs up. Be greatly appreciated. If you are new around here, hit that subscribe button and the notifications icon so you know when I release new content or go live. Like I say, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you later.